Thank you, Amanda. Our next speaker, Jeff Bladt, brings another perspective to how digital is changing the way we fundraise and work for social change. He is one of the nonprofit sector's first data scientists devoted to helping causes collect their data, organize it into clear thinking, and use it to maximize their impact. Let's welcome Jeff Bladt.
Hi, I'm Jeff Bladt, and I'm the Chief Data Officer and Lead Data Scientist at DoSomethingorg. I'm the math nerd you get to listen to today, so bear with me. And when we think about the future of fundraising and think about the digital revolution, my mind instantly goes to this. Everything you do online, everything you do in a digital place generates data. Every organization in this room has more data than you probably realize. And when we look to the future, those organizations that will be successful are the ones that will use that data. And when we're thinking of fundraising, I think of using that data in two specific ways. First, how do you target and segment the people you have a relationship with to get them to do more of the things you want them to do? And second, once you have donation money, how do you effectively spend it? How do you get the most impact for every dollar and euro you have? So I come from DoSomething.org, and we are now the largest organization in the world for young people and social change. We have 3.6 million members, all under the age of 25, that we connect with using technology. And we take those members and we place them into one of 230 campaigns on our platform. Each campaign is a unique volunteering opportunity. And to do this, we ask which one of these people is best suited for each opportunity. And I'll talk through an example of that in a moment. And along the way, because we were listening to our data, we discovered a need to create a crisis text line. So that allows people in moments of crisis to use their phone to get help. And that'll be my second example today about how data can change your organization. So what makes Do Something different? We receive only 2% of all our funding from individuals. To put that in comparison, 72% of all charitable donations in the United States comes from individual giving. When people join our board and discover this, they think we're doing it wrong. They say, how can you have 1 million people come to your homepage every day and you never once put a donate button on there? How can you communicate with 1.5 million people on Facebook and never once raise money? And that's because we looked at the data and we saw an opportunity. And we get almost all our money from these guys. Because all of these corporations care about cause, but they don't have the data and they don't have that relationship with young people to actually effectively get them involved. So I'll walk you through an example about how you can use data to focus your outreach and grow your organization. So right now, we're partnered with H&M, the clothing retailer. And the cause they care about is recycling absolutely destroyed clothing into second-generation products. This is your ruined t-shirt getting turned into a mattress. It's great for the environment, and they've done all the hard work. Every one of their stores in North America and in Europe is a drop-off location. And they've connected those stores with a recycling center, and they can use their logistics and their trucks to get the clothing to where it needs to be. But they have a problem in the US. In the year before they partnered with us, they collected fewer clothes in total than Denmark, than Norway. No one in the United States knew they were doing this program. They had no idea how to talk to millennials. So they partnered with us. And by partnering, we got access to their logistics, but they also wrote us a big check. It was value add. And we partnered with their marketing team. That wasn't out of the goodness of their heart. They wanted our data. And so let's talk through what happened. We looked at our 3.6 million members, and we could ask questions like, who have done environmental campaigns before? And you see someone like Alex. He's done this 14 times. And we can see who has been good at motivating other people they know to do these type of actions. And we reached out to 2,000 people before we launched the campaign. So when we launched, we had people like Kim here posing at her local mall and posting this picture on Facebook. She had brought 5 bags of clothes in. And within 4 weeks of launching this campaign, using our targeting and segmented data list, we had collected over 100,000 pounds of clothes by reaching out to just 2,000 people to seed the campaign. And we looked at those people that we thought would do the most. We reached out with personal messaging on the channels we knew would be most effective. Some people got a text, some got a call, some got an email. And we looked at the 60 most engaged people. This girl's one of them. That's a lot of clothing. And our 60 most engaged people collected 120,000 pounds. And in total, we collected almost 400,000 pounds of clothing. And we found one girl in Texas. And the saying's true, everything is bigger in Texas. She collected 40,000 pounds of clothing. That's 2 tons of clothing. And she never even knew that H&M did this campaign. She didn't even know she had it in her to be a good organizer of other people. And to be honest, no one on our staff would have known either if we didn't have the data that suggested her to us. And that's because we were tagging each person with the things we thought would be important in the future. The second example I want to give you is how do you get more impact for every dollar and euro you raise? So I mentioned that we started a crisis text line. As part of that relationship with young people, we communicate using SMS. So that's using their phone. And most of the questions we get are, where's my local H&M? How do I do this? But because we are a trusted resource, because we respected them and used data to communicate with them in the way they wanted, we started getting messages like, I'm having trouble in school. Can you help me? Or a girl who wrote us, I'm cutting again. I don't know how to stop. And then the message that we never forgot, we had a girl text us in the middle of the day, he's doing it again, he won't stop, he's raping me, it's my father, are you there? We stopped everything we were doing and immediately connected this woman with the appropriate counseling services and emergency services. But we realized that wasn't doing everything we could do. And we've learned that people text when they're in crisis because it's private, it's personal. You don't have to be talking out loud. You can do it from your bathroom. And so we decided we needed to do something about it. So we built a crisis text line. And I'll talk you through quickly how it works. A young person in need anywhere in the United States can dial 731-731 and send a text to us describing their situation. When they do that, they'll be connected to a trained counselor. We'll be using a computer to do their side of the counseling session. So they'll be typing in their responses. And we'll take someone from a moment of crisis to a cool place and give them the resources to go forward and hopefully not be in that situation again. We started looking at the data after we launched this in pilot, so after just 3 months, and we saw that 78% of people were texting in 1 to 3 times. Great. That's how we intended this service, for those moments of crisis that occasionally crop up. But when you look at the far side, you'll see under 2% of people were texting in over 20 times. That means they were talking to us not about crisis, but they had relationship problems. Does he love me? Things like that. That's not what our service is for. And then we looked at how much time it was taking to help with these people's love problems. They were taking 26% of our counselors' minutes, our most valuable resource. In fact, when you looked at these chronic texters, the people talking more than 12 times, the people not actually in crisis, they were wasting 34% of our time. They were wasting, in essence, 34% of our funders' dollars. And so we saw this as a data problem. Not many people would in this space, and we talked to other organizations, and anecdotally they experienced the same thing, but just thought they had to live with it. We spent 6 months with the staff and the tools we already had, and I won't bore you with the algorithms we use, but find me afterwards, I love to talk about it. And we got that down to 8% of our counselors' time, which is a fun efficiency win. But what this translated to was 60,000 additional people in crisis we're going to be able to handle this next year, without hiring an additional person, without raising an additional dollar. And when we look at what that actually translates to for impact, that's going to be 500 lives saved. That's 500 times we're going to send an ambulance to someone's house, or a fire department, or a police vehicle to get someone out of imminent danger to their life. When we talk about that young girl, when that text she got from her father, you will never forget that. And funders never forget that either. That's why they take our calls. That's why they call us. But when we go into those meetings, the first thing we talk about the data. Because that shows we're going to use their dollars smartly. And it makes us different. No one else in the mental health space is looking at data this way. And so that's the challenge for every organization in this room. You all have this unbelievable asset of data now that you're engaging on digital platforms. What's your 25% efficiency gain? How can you use that to tell a better story to your funders? Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
The clicker.